Now, let's see if you can build something real. Jamal clenched his fists. This was only the beginning. No, the business of the future. The real challenge begins. Jamal barely slept that night. The adrenaline from turning $100 into $950 still coursed through his veins, but something else gnawed at him. Harrington's words. Let's see if you can build something real. That wasn't just a challenge. It was a test of vision. Hustling was about quick flips and fast money, but building something real? That required strategy, patience, and a whole different level of thinking. Jamal had no clue what was coming next, but he knew one thing: he wasn't going to fail. A meeting with the Titan. The next morning, Jamal arrived at Harrington Enterprises sharp at 8 a.m. The security guards recognized him this time. A small but important victory. When he stepped into Harrington's office, the billionaire was already waiting. On the desk in front of him was a single sheet of paper. Jamal's pulse quickened. "Take a seat," Harrington said, his tone serious. Jamal did. Harrington slid the paper across the desk. "Read this," he said. Jamal picked it up. The heading made his stomach flip. Startup Seed Fund. $50,000. His eyes widened. "Wait, are you giving me 50 grand? Harrington chuckled. "No, kid. I'm lending it to you." Jamal blinked. "Lending? But what for?" Harrington leaned forward. "You proved you can flip money. Now, I want to see if you can run a business." Jamal's heart pounded. "A real business?" "A real business," Harrington confirmed. "With employees, with overhead, with strategy. You're not just selling bottles of water or flipping phone cases anymore. You're building something." Jamal exhaled sharply. This was next level. Choosing the right business. $50,000 is a lot of money, Jamal said slowly. But also, not a lot, Harrington added. Spend it wrong, and it's gone in weeks. Jamal knew that was true. He needed to invest wisely. "Do I get time to think?" he asked. "You have 48 hours to pitch me a business idea," Harrington said. Jamal nodded. Got it. He had 2 days to come up with a business plan worthy of a billionaire's investment. No pressure. Brainstorming like a boss. Jamal locked himself in his tiny apartment, staring at a blank notebook. What kind of business should he start? Something he knew? Something new? Then it hit him. Go with what he was already good at. He had hustled on the streets and flipped products, but the real money wasn't in selling stuff. It was in helping others sell stuff. The pitch that could change his life. 48 hours later, Jamal walked back into Harrington's office. He placed a single sheet of paper on the desk. "My business plan," he said. Harrington raised an eyebrow and picked it up. As he read, his smirk slowly disappeared. Jamal held his breath. "Interesting," Harrington finally said. "You like it?" Jamal asked. Harrington leaned back in his chair. "You want to start a street vending business incubator?" Jamal nodded. "Most people on the streets don't know how to scale," he said. "They sell, they make money, but they stay small. What if I could teach them how to grow?" Harrington stroked his chin. "Go on." Jamal's confidence grew. "I take the $50,000 and set up a small program. I find 5 serious hustlers, people who are grinding but don't have resources. I train them on how to scale, buy in bulk, reinvest, and build real operations." Harrington tapped his fingers on the desk. "So, you're not just selling? You're creating an ecosystem." Jamal grinned. "Exactly." Harrington was silent for a long moment. Then he nodded. "All right, kid, you've got your funding." Jamal grinned. He had just taken his first step toward becoming a real entrepreneur. The 5 hustlers. A new mission begins. Jamal left Harrington's office with his mind racing. He had $50,000 and a chance to prove himself. but he also had a massive challenge ahead. Finding 5 street hustlers who were serious about leveling up wouldn't be easy. Some people didn't want to grow. Some people didn't believe in change. And some, they'd rather see you fail than rise up. Jamal needed to find the right people. People who wanted more. People like him. Hitting the streets. Jamal didn't waste time. He walked through the same neighborhoods where he once flipped water bottles and phone cases. The first guy he approached was a young vendor selling sunglasses. His stand was small, but his energy was big. Jamal walked up. "Yo, how's business?" The guy barely looked up. "Slow, man. People window shop more than they buy." Jamal smirked. "What if I told you I could help you triple your sales?" The guy scoffed. "Yeah, okay. And I suppose you're some kind of business genius?" Jamal crossed his arms. "I turned $100 into $950 in 24 hours. And now I got $50,000 to help others do the same. You in?" The guy froze. "Shh, wait, you serious?" Jamal nodded. The vendor hesitated, then extended his hand. "Name's Rico." "Jamal," he said, shaking it. "Welcome to the team. 1 down, 4 to go." Finding diamonds in the rough. Jamal spent the next 2 days searching for the right people. Rico, the sunglasses vendor, had the energy but lacked strategy. Lena, a single mother selling homemade jewelry, had talent but no idea how to scale. Big Mike, a towering man running a food cart, had a product people loved but struggled with money management. Devin, a sneaker reseller, knew how to flip inventory but had no connections to buy in bulk. Aisha, a quiet but sharp teenager, sold phone accessories but wanted to turn it into a full business. These were Jamal's 5. Each of them had hustle, each of them had talent, but none of them knew how to scale. That was Jamal's job. Not everyone wants to see you win. Not everyone was happy about what Jamal was doing. Some of the older vendors scoffed at him. "You think you're some kind of big-time boss now?" one man sneered. "You don't belong in this world," another said. Even some of his old friends laughed behind his back. Jamal? Running a business? Man, he ain't got a clue. But Jamal didn't care. He had one goal: win. The first lesson: mindset shift. Jamal gathered his 5 hustlers in a rented meeting space. It was a small office, but it was the first time they had ever been in a real business environment. Jamal stood at the front. "Y'all have skills. Y'all know how to grind, but that's not enough." He pointed to the whiteboard. "There's a difference between a hustler and an entrepreneur." He wrote, "Hustler. Thinks about today, entrepreneur. Thinks about the next 5 years. You can flip small money forever," Jamal said, "or you can build something that makes money while you sleep." They all nodded, slowly taking it in. Lena raised her hand. "So, what's step 1? Jamal smiled. "Step 1? We take this to the next level." The first business venture, a test of leadership. Jamal stood in front of his 5 hustlers, looking at their eager faces. They had hustle. They had talent, but now they needed direction. "All right," Jamal said, pacing the small room. "We're not here to run street stands forever. We're here to build something real." The room was silent. They were listening. "So here's the deal," he continued. "We need to take what you're already doing and scale it." Rico crossed his arms. "How, though?" "We ain't got big stores or warehouses," Jamal smirked. "Who said we need 'em?" He grabbed a marker and wrote on the whiteboard, "Pop-up shops." Lena squinted. "What's that?" "It's like a street stand," Jamal explained, "but on steroids. We rent out high-traffic spaces, malls, events, parking lots. Instead of hoping people walk by, we go where the customers already are." The group leaned in. "Instead of hustling alone, we work together," Jamal continued. "We create a brand, something people recognize." Big Mike stroked his beard. Sounds dope, but how we gonna afford it? Jamal tapped the paper on the desk. The $50,000 startup fund. This, he said, we're gonna invest smart. Dividing the investment. Jamal broke it down. Each person got $5,000 to upgrade their business. Rico could buy bulk inventory of high-end sunglasses. Lena could create a real jewelry brand with packaging. Big Mike could invest in a better food cart setup. Devin could expand into rare sneakers. Aisha could turn her phone accessories hustle into a full-on tech booth. The remaining $25,000 would cover checkmark pop-up space rentals, checkmark marketing, banners, social media, branding, checkmark professional setups, tables, lights, signage, uniforms. For the first time, they weren't just hustlers, they were a business team. The first launch. 2 weeks later, the team launched their first pop-up shop. A high-end shopping mall had agreed to rent them a small section in the outdoor plaza. It was go time. Rico set up his luxury sunglasses booth with stylish mirrors and lighting. Lena's jewelry booth had a sleek, branded look, like something out of a boutique. Big Mike's food stand drew a crowd with its mouth-watering smell. Devin had sneakerheads lining up for his exclusive drops. Aisha's tech booth offered phone repairs and accessories. Customers poured in. By noon, Rico had already sold out of his premium sunglasses. By evening, Lena had made triple her usual street sales. By the end of the day, the team had racked up $14,000 in sales. In one day, Jamal watched from the sidelines, heart pounding. They had done it. They had leveled up. But just when everything seemed perfect, trouble arrived. The threat. A group of older vendors stood at the edge of the plaza, watching. They weren't happy. One of them, a man named Marcus, ran a struggling sunglasses shop inside the mall. He glared at Rico's empty booth, the sign of a sold-out success. Another, a woman named Miss Cheryl, had been selling food in that mall for 10 years. She saw Big Mike's success as a threat. "Who do they think they are?" Marcus muttered. "They ain't lasting long," Miss Cheryl said. "Jamal didn't,"